Welcome back everyone, welcome to Creating with Ali. And this is a little challenge that I've set for myself. I want to fill up this watercolor book. This is just one of those, is it Monte Marte ones? And I've just gessoed the front. I haven't decided what I'm going to decorate that in yet. I'm going to leave that. And I've been really inspired by the work of Gustav Klimt. And I've purchased myself this text. I absolutely love his work. And when I was in grade 12 many years ago, I did a whole series of Gustav Klimt. And I gave some of those prints away to my family. They're hanging on the wall, but I don't have any to show you. And I'm going to use this to inspire the work that I'm doing throughout this watercolor book. But I did promise in my previous videos that I'll talk about how I might use some of these Archer and Olive components. These colouring pages came with the subscription box last month. And I'm just going to put these colourings away to the side for the moment, because what I want to focus on is using the front of this as a bit of a stencil for part of my painting here today. It seems like a very sacrilegious thing to do, doesn't it, to cut up a piece of work that you've just received? But we're going to go with it anyway. Here it goes. No going back now, as they say. So this is the part on the front that I liked. I really quite like the geometric designs, and I am going to use my watercolors. I'm using my Tambi. So what I would like to do is have this geometric design running down the side of this page, but obviously if I use watercolors, that's going to make this very wet and unusable again, and I want to try and get a little bit of use out of it over the time. So I'm going to be using a stamp pad. I have to apologise because it was about here that the sound and video stopped working, but I am using the Tim Ranger Distress inks because I had a few of those around. Haven't had them out of the box for a little while, and I use those to stamp over in various ways the geometric stencil that I was using from the front of the Archer and Olive. From here I started using my leftover watercolours that I still had left on the palette, along with some of my Gustav Klimt, I think that's how you say it, the Kuretake watercolours, to start making out the face. And I'm just going to leave it here, put on a bit of background music, and I'll catch you toward the end. I went through in between the purple with some of this Amsterdam ink, and I just used a paintbrush. I used a gold. I also, because I had that out, put a dot in each of the geometric shapes that I made earlier. I used some of my Prismacolor pencils just to highlight the eyelid and the mouth and some of the shadows on the face. And I also used a gold pen and a white pen just to do some highlights. I'm going to finish it off with some gold leaf. There it is there. I'm hopeless with this stuff, so you can laugh at me. But what I would really like to do is add some of this. Now this is a glue pen. Hopefully it's still working. Got to try that out somewhere, hey? Oh yeah, it's got some sticky in it. So I'm just going to randomly add some of this glue here. I'm doing it with a pen just because I want it to be a little bit more controlled. Oh, we'll see how that goes. This could totally mess it up, I don't know. And this is the gold leaf here. I just tore a little bit off. Ordered some of these squares online, and it's been fun to use, but just can't quite get it right, and it breaks up into a million pieces. It's very irritating, but anyway. So I'll just shovel that on there. If you know how to use this stuff, leave me a comment, because this is how I use it. I think you're supposed to use gloves, but you know, who doesn't want to get around with a bit of glue on them? And then I've got a brush. I'll use this big one. And I usually just dab it like so, and give it a little bit of a brush clean up. I'll brush that over onto my other piece. It's got a piece of paper towel there. And chances are it's going to stick to almost everything, including the brush, but there we are. Now, I'm pretty happy with this as a first try. And I'm thanking you for sticking around if you're still watching. So let's just take the edges off, hopefully. I took some sticky out of it by running it along my jeans before I stuck it on the page so it wouldn't tear up the paper. I really like the geometric patterns that the Archer and Olive gave me there on the side. So I think that was well worth this little experiment. And I have got my very first Gustav Klimt inspired picture in my journal. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, happy crafting.